then I looked at a few other things and I was like, I'll just do entrepreneurship. I don't have to work for anybody else. I can do whatever the heck I want. And if I get bored, I can sell the business off and start something else.
Welcome to the Marvelous Moms Club podcast, where you'll be not only allowed, but encouraged to dream big dreams and imagine the very best future for yourself and your family. Throw away expectations and perfection and embrace the messy beauty of what it means to be a marvelous mom. I'm your host, Kirsten Tyrell, and I can't wait to help you discover what makes you marvelous.
Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I am joined today not by one, but two fabulous guests, and it's going to be a really, really fun conversation. It's going to be unique, one of a kind, something I've never done before. This is a mother-daughter episode, and we're going to hear from the perspective mostly from the daughter. And I think this is so powerful because as moms and as women, we spin our wheels and we wonder if what we're doing is working and what it's looking like on the other side. And it's cool to have perspective. So today I have Makayla Prince and Alison Prince of the Prince family in Puerto Rico. They are amazing. Welcome to the podcast, Michaela and Allison.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
I guess
Heck yeah.
we've done one other podcast together, right?
Yeah.
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 This is our second one.
This is our second one. I just find any excuse I can have to have you in my life. I mean, what else would I do with my time, right? You find good people and you welcome them in and you have an awesome friendship. So, but like I said, this is different because Michaela, this is our first time chatting. And it's one of those weird things where I know more about you than you know about me because you are all over my social media platforms from your guys' programs. Your mom's been telling your story from her perspective for a while now. And I'm really excited to hear it from your perspective. So tell us a little bit about you, how old you are, what was that?
I said the truth will come out.
Yeah, this is the real backstory, y'all.
This is actually what happened.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear. So yeah, give us a little bit of background on you, Michaela.
Okay, so you wanted to know my age? Is that what you said?
Yeah, age and just a few fun things about you and what's going on in your life.
Okay, well, I'm 18. I have been working on a course that is officially done and ready to launch. I was going to launch it today, actually.
Oh my god.
So I'm excited about that. And I've just been living here in Puerto Rico, working on that, trying to make new friends here so I'm not at home all by myself all day, every day. So that's been
with
exciting.
Your awesome mom, right?
Yeah, with my awesome mom.
Best place to be.
Every 18-year-old's dream, just to hang out with her mom until the sun goes down.
Exactly.
That's cool. Okay, yeah. So I was asking you a little bit before. I couldn't remember if you were at college or not. And here's the funny thing: like a lot of your guys' stories, you really were able to pay. You could pay for college cash right now if you wanted to. But you've decided to go a different route. I really kind of want to hear if that's been the plan all along and just kind of your journey with becoming an entrepreneur with your mom. And I guess even though people can listen to this on the Marvelous Moms podcast with Allison when it was just the two of us, I really do want to hear the story from through your eyes. So go back as far as you need to tell us kind of what this has been like for you to get to right now where you're living in Puerto Rico and you're launching a course, which is like, I'm bowing over here. 18-year-old Michaela is probably going to make more money than I am this year. It's fine. It's great. I'm so happy for you. All right, let's roll. Let's hear it.
Okay, so it all started when I was 13. I personally was living a wonderful life. I was sleeping until noon, not doing any of my chores, hanging out with friends all the time, reading, not doing anything productive. And I thought that was wonderful. But my parents did not. So they told us that we had three options. We could either move out of the house, do more chores, or start a business. So being 13, I was not going to move out of the house. I hated chores. So that was an absolute no. And so we started a business. We started our Ice Scarf 2 business. And come to find out, a couple years ago, I realized that she had tricked me into picking this option.
It was not tricking. It was guiding. It was parental guiding.
It was tricking.
Potatoes, potatoes.
So
But I am
she
grateful
tricked
for
you.
that trick. Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, come on, Team Alison here.
This is Michaela's voice. Remember, this is her perspective. This is her story, her version of the story.
Okay, proceed, Michaela.
So
we-
she really. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, we started our business and we contacted influencers, and that was honestly the scariest thing of my entire life, was talking to someone on the phone, asking them to put my ad on their website. So that was terrifying. And then
Oh my gosh.
doing inventory was awful. I did not like doing inventory. I got better with customer service as it went along. I was very sassy, and I really wanted to be like, okay, well, all you have to do is hit the buy button. It's not that hard. But my mom and my dad were like, no, say it this way so it sounds nice, and they come back later. I was like, that's a good idea. So I learned how to be nice.
Good advice.
And then in our first 9 months, we sold over $100,000.
Wow. Did you have that goal in mind, or did you even fathom like kind of what you were working towards, or did you look back and were you like, what in the world just happened to my life?
Yeah, I had no idea where it was going. I didn't think we'd honestly make any money like that. I didn't even know how much that actually was. My mom had to sit me down and break it into babysitting hours. So she's like, okay, you take this and you divide it by how many hours you normally babysit. And it just ended up to way too many diapers that I wanted to change. So
wow. That's a really good way to break it down, Allison. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kids can relate to like $5, but they can't relate to $100,000.
No.
Right?
100,000.
Yeah, you have to go where their headspace is. I could have also related it to the number of gumballs that she wanted to buy.
Yeah.
But
the number would have been bigger.
That's a really, really good lesson right there. And what I'm hearing too in this journey is like, I think it's easy from Allison's perspective. You know, we hear like, that's so cool. Like you took your kids through an entrepreneurial journey, and from, you know, it all sounds really, really great. And then to hear you say like you hated inventory and you had to learn customer service to really break down what it looked like for you, because, you know, your mom has been doing business for a long time. She's learned that stuff over the course of time as well. And you don't realize what you don't know, right? Like, and you learned communication skills, you learned math skills. There's so much right there that encompasses that whole like notion of why I love the idea of a whole full-time family, because we're learning all the time. It's an immersive experience. And you didn't come in and you weren't like, you know what, I want to be super rich by the time I'm 18. You were just like, your mom needed to get you setting an alarm in the morning, waking up with some purpose. Yeah. So where do you go from there?
Honestly, as parents, we thought we were going to be happy with a couple $1,000s, honestly.
Yeah.
Because a couple $1,000s would have changed her life dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just on a roll, and we weren't going to stop them.
Wow. That's so cool. And I love too, even going back to like the reaching out to influencers and having conversation on the phone, because that's a lost art in and of itself. Like even myself as an adult, like when people are like, can I call you? I'm like, why? What's wrong? Like what's the matter with you? Can't we just text about everything? But to have you really show up with that level of maturity and have those conversations is really, really intriguing to me, because I think that's something that we're starting to lose, is that connection. And did it help you to feel like more connected to just people and realize the world was so much bigger than the little world you kind of had surrounded yourself with as a young teenager?
Yeah, it was weird. It like made me see the world bigger, but at the same time, as I'd go tell my friends about what was going on, it kind of made me feel like the oddball because they didn't understand what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So that was, it was weird.
You were kind of living in a totally different universe from the typical teenager life, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you find the motivation to kind of, I mean, I know the money, even your mom having to break it down to in babysitting hours and helping you to comprehend. And I'm sure even still you're like, yeah, that's great. Isn't that just like normal? What I have really learned over time, like money isn't our strongest motivator. So what for you has become kind of your driving force to want to keep going, even though it's made you feel like the oddball out? What about entrepreneurism? I don't know. You tell me if that's a word.
No.
What has kind of like sparked your interest and drawn you in to where that's kind of the path you're choosing?
So funny thing was, as I got into high school, I kind of stopped doing entrepreneurship and business. Like I took marketing classes throughout high school, but I really wanted to go into nursing, and I wanted to be like a travel nurse and go help people in third world countries who couldn't afford like good health care.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to do. But then one day my sister decided to get the flu. So we all had to go get flu shots, and I passed out during my flu shot. So yeah, that was not a choice anymore.
Oh
So
my
then,
gosh.
yeah. Then I looked at a few other things, and I was like, I'll just do entrepreneurship. I don't have to work for anybody else. I can do whatever the heck I want. And if I get bored, I can sell the business off and start something else.
Wow. Alison, props to that statement that just came out of her mouth.
Thank you. I'll record. I'll re-listen to that when I'm having a hard day with my kids.
They're listening. It's working. It's sinking in slowly but surely.
One thing that I want to bring up, where I love what Michaela said about she felt awkward, like not her friends didn't understand what she was doing. Don't all teenagers feel awkward?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so giving them something that we could talk about that brought us together, it let her feel more comfortable in our family setting as she learned who she wanted to become and where she wanted to go. And I think it allowed her to really realize, okay, I think this is the path that I want to go. But also allowing her, to go try to be a nurse. But teenagers are going to be awkward no matter what.
Yeah. You are so right.
That's just how it is. So if we can give them something to look forward to hope, to see their accomplishments, like making their first dollar, that was a pretty cool thing for her.
It still is.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that it's still like exciting and thrilling for you to see the fruits of your labor, because I'm sure after having fast success like that most adults are even striving to figure out how to make that kind of money in a year, and you guys made that in 9 months. I think that like to continue to have the gratitude and realize how exciting it is what you're able to do. And even hearing you say, like if this doesn't work out, I can move on to something else. That's a perspective that so many people are lacking. So for you to see, the big picture of really truly like how lucky and blessed you are to have obviously a marvelous, amazing mom who's taken you down this road.
Exactly.
Remember that, Michaela.
This is going to live on forever, Alison. So anytime you're having a bad day, click play. Just
going back to her making that first dollar, it wasn't, money's great, right? We need money to do all the things, but it built her self-confidence to believe in herself.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear that. I can hear that in her voice. And that's why I'm saying like it's important because it's energetically just part of our society. We have to have it. But I think it's more so you've got more of this underlying belief in yourself that the fact that you can say I can do anything, I can move on to whatever. That's kind of the biggest like win, I would say, from a mom's perspective and even from your perspective, Michaela. Because are you kind of seeing your friends now? I mean, now that this is years later, are you seeing how kind of cool it is that you have this vision and that you have a direction at such a young age versus those who are kind of just like, I don't know, I'll go to college, I don't know what I want to be, and they don't figure it out till, I don't know, sometimes when they're 40 or 50.
Yeah. Yes, I have seen it in my friends and the people that I'm meeting here too. Like I met this one person who went through college and he had no idea what he wanted to do, but then finally he realized what he really wanted to do, and it was just a ton of debt he got into. And yeah, it's a little scary to not know what you want to do.
It's so true. How has your mom kind of helped, or even both of your parents helped to shape some of those habits? Like, what are your guys' family habits that have really helped you to have that focus in that direction, even aside from the business that you guys are doing together?
Kayla, I think you should talk about the story of how I hired you.
And then fired me.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, the band, how you didn't have any money.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay. So during high school, I did the marching band, and that consumed my entire life. Like, I lived and breathed the marching band. It was pretty intense. And then during the summer, we had marching band all day, every day. And I didn't have enough money to go back to school shopping because in my family, they cut us off at 12 and we're supposed to pay for everything that we want except for like underwear, housing, food, and school. Everything else we pay for ourselves. And so I didn't have enough money to go back to school shopping to get stuff that I wanted for school. And so she hired me to work at Pick Your Plum, to work in the warehouse over the summer for like a week or 2 weeks. And it was very frustrating to no matter how hard I worked, I only got paid like $8 an hour. Like I couldn't raise that no matter how hard I worked.
Yeah.
So I could just slack off and still get paid $8 an hour. But if I worked really, really hard and put a ton of energy and effort into it, I would still only get paid $8 an hour.
Yeah. That's really amazing that you saw that, because most kids are content with just the slacking off and they don't really strive for more than that. But you kind of got to see that hourly wage mentality, and it sounds like it really didn't fit from day one into your lifestyle.
Yeah, no, it was frustrating.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And then we went to
go ahead.
Okay, we went to go back to school shopping, and we walked into Old Navy, and I got a sweater and pants for like my back to school outfit, and it came up to $90, and that was more than half of what I had made working.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like,
so hey, value of money. Wow. It's a lot more expensive to clothe yourself than you had originally maybe planned for, right?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
So what did you do? Did you still buy the sweater and the pants, or were you like, I'm going to go buy some stuff on the clearance rack?
So I returned them, didn't get anything, and went in my mom's closet.
Which she still does today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That was probably the best thing I've heard all day. That's the best thing I've heard in a long time. Talk about resourceful. She's like, you know what? Forget this. I have the money. I'm keeping the money. And I'm just going to go on loan. I'm going to be even smarter than the system. And that's what's going to make you an incredible entrepreneur.
It's because she's going to come to her mom's closet every time she needs something.
Oh my gosh. That's why she doesn't want to move. She's like, I'd actually have to buy my wardrobe. It's not even
I have
about
to return all the clothes I stole.
That is awesome. I love that. So tell us a little bit more about the course that you're launching soon. You said maybe today, but it's maybe a little bit later, but it'll probably be out by the time we air this. So what's that all about? Because I know your mom has an awesome program. So let's hear about yours.
So mine is geared towards kids, females specifically. It's called the Miss Boss course.
Ooh.
And it just teaches kids, females, because it's Miss, how to start with zero money and how to sell online. But through the course, they don't have to build a website or advertise or code or any of that confusing things, those confusing things that you do when you first set up a business. So they're able to make the same amount of money, but without having to have all those overhead costs, like the domain and all of those things that we have to worry about.
Wow.
So it simplifies it and makes it work for kids who have busy schedules.
Is there an age limit? Like, can I take it?
Yeah, you can take it.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Seriously. The older I get, the younger I feel. And I know maybe other people say that, but I have really discovered that some of the things that I'm trying to be like serious and I'm trying to be an adult. And what really resonates with me is being on the level of my children. And so I feel like I travel better when I travel with kids because we don't have to do the boring stuff that adults like to do. I'm like, one museum's good, just take me to the beach, right? And
Exactly.
so your course would probably be very eye-opening for me. It would simplify it. And I love that you're taking out those elements that even grown-ups are overcomplicating the process of setting up a business sometimes. So it's cool that you've kind of custom tailored it to young girls. So where are you encouraging girls to start this at? Like younger, it sounds like you guys kind of start at 12. Do you feel like they could go younger, or is that about the right age to start thinking?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
about the right age. Just because, like, all the legal stuff in there, it might get tricky when you get younger. But, I mean, we did it when we were 12 and 10, so I guess if it feels right, go for it.
Now you said it's kind of directed at girls, but could boys take this course?
Yes, they can, if they're okay with the pink colors.
Aside from the branding, the content remains the same, right? It's still like really good content. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it.
You should just make a blue one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do later on, is just copy everything and make a blue one and call it Mr. Boss and just kind of like...
I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but I think that's a brilliant idea. So I definitely would do that. Because my daughter's 5, so we've got some time. But in the meantime, I have an almost 10-year-old boy, and I know he would eat that up. So if you could just, let me know when the blue one drops. But in the meantime, if I need to, I can get the pink one. It's fine. Wow. What do you feel like has been like a bonding thing as a family? Like as you guys are doing business together, I guess not so much a bonding thing, but what helps you kind of remain that family unit in spite of all of this business stuff layered on top of each other? What helps you connect outside of the business?
All of the adventures that we go on. We go on a ton of like adventures. Like we went to the rainforest here. We've done a bunch of hikes and just crazy things that like I guess not a ton of people do with their family, but it like just helps us adventure together. So we like see all of our personalities, I guess.
Yeah. And you get to have those bonding moments together where you're seeing something for the first time and you all have such a different viewpoint on it. And it's just fun time, right? Like I think so many people skip over that and there's this grind that happens and it's just work, work, work. But to have the fun, blended in with all of that and to be able to have that lifestyle where you guys really do everything together. And do you still like each other? Your mom, Alison, just plug your ears like for a minute.
Usually. Sometimes.
For the most part.
They do really good together. But everybody has their moments they need alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody does anyway, right? Regardless of your lifestyle choice, family's tricky. I'm curious too. I know you kind of said homeschool, but I know you're in the college age. Alison, are you homeschooling the kids now in Puerto Rico, or are they going to school?
Today I was about to homeschool them when we found out we can't go eat lunch with them. They've got really tight security here. But we're not. They are going to an academy here. Awesome. They like it. So we were going to attempt it at one point, but they said they wanted to go to school. So we try and eat them up throughout the rest of the week.
Yeah. And it should be a combination choice. Like people, because we're homeschooling this year and people are like, well, if they want to go to school, will you let them? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not like doing it to be a monster. I'm hoping this is fun for them. But if they decided that they want to go back to school, totally, I'm game. So I think it's just finding that ebb and flow. And it sounds like you guys are so, I wish you could see my hands right now. Just like you're kind of all webbed in together anyway. So regardless of that choice and the schooling aspect, they're going to have a good long time to be invested in the family business. And so much of what you do is together. So there's limits for us, right?
But remember what Michaela said earlier about how I fired her?
Oh yeah. Yes. I want to hear that story.
I wanted her to do her own thing. So a lot of people think that she works for me and she doesn't. Yeah.
No, I do not.
She'll help me I don't know, bring me a drink if I need something every random once in a while. But I think she needs to learn what she wants instead of being molded into who I want her to become. Like she needs to find the drive. She needs to learn what grit means. She needs to figure out what makes her internally happy. And so this is her own thing, and I'm so proud of her for making it happen.
And that kind of does lead me. I'm sure there's people listening who are going to have this question. You've really made your girls kind of do this on their own with your guidance. And I love that word you use, like you were a guide. And I think that's such a good term that we need to start using more in parenting instead of this, like, I'm in charge and you have to follow these orders. It's more like, I'm going to guide you. You know, even in our church, like we're really seeing that transition into more guidance and less like follow the rules. Which is still in turn helping them to follow rules, but from their own guided perspective. And so I really kind of did want to hear, as Michaela she's really seeing what you're doing and she's emulating that, but she's doing it in her own way. How much do you involve yourself in kind of mentoring and guiding her? And how much do you leave her on her own to really creatively, even when she's struggling? Like, I don't know you can tell me some of the struggles that you've maybe had, Michaela, and then Alison, kind of how you've navigated stepping in and swooping in and helping the struggle and actually letting it play out.
Well, I think as her mother, it's my job not to swoop in. It's my job not to save her. It's my job to teach her to look for help when she needs it, because there's going to be things going on in her head as her mother that, I mean, no human can find out. It is my job to let her know that I'm here for her 100%, and for me to encourage her to come and talk to me. But
yeah,
I don't want her resenting me in the first place, right?
Yeah.
I want her to love what she's doing. And I think if I was swooping in and saving every single thing, or even half, or even 90, 80% of everything, I think she would miss out on what makes entrepreneurship, what makes life, what makes accomplishing goals so rewarding. Because if I swooped in and just took care of it, she would never feel like she could do it on her own. She has to go through some of the hard parts for her to really relish what she can accomplish and feel that inside of her that gives her the inner desire to keep moving forward. Yes, I did this. Yes, I can keep doing this. Yes, I'm going to try again. And so I don't swoop in very much. But do you feel like I'm here 100% for you?
Yeah.
Was that a high five?
It should have been.
It was the bug zapper.
It was the bug zapper because y'all are in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Lizards, giant lizards, and apparently very, very big bugs that the bug zapper just got. But I kind of want to pretend it was a high five.
Someone asked us if we were whipping, like we had a whip. And I was like, what would we be whipping?
That's your parenting style, right?
Not the kids.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I want to hear that from your perspective. Kind of the same question, Michaela. How do you feel? Are you ever frustrated? Like, Mom, just like do this for me or show me or whatever. You know she's there, but kind of what does that feel like from your perspective?
Yes, sometimes it is a little frustrating. Like one time I couldn't figure out how to get the people to put their credit card information on there. It only showed PayPal. And I spent 3 hours trying to figure it out by myself. And I figured it out, finally. So now I know how to do it, and it will never leave my mind.
Right.
But sometimes, it's good and bad.
Wow.
Good in the long run, bad in the short run.
And did you know how, Alison? Did you know how and you literally just said, nope, figure it out? Or did you not even ask her?
If I answer that question, are you going to judge me?
No. I'm not going to. Could I ever? No. I want to hear the truth.
I want her to figure it out. I mean, yes, I will help her, But I also think that as she's developing her brain, having to solve her own problems
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to help her to grow more instead of me just saying, oh, here's the answer. Oh, here's the answer.
Well, especially in a generation of instant gratification, and even in and of itself, like, if you're using ClickFunnels or whatever, there's so much done for you that you don't have to code piece by piece. So even that, like, it's already easier for you than it used to be for 20 years ago, or however long the internet's been around. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, we are in that era where I think it's really critical. And this is such a weird thing to say, but it's kind of the dynamic between my husband and I. When I started Marvelous Moms Club, I didn't know how to do anything except talk. I didn't know, beyond pushing the record button, how to edit. I didn't know how it got onto the internet. I didn't know any of it. I didn't understand. Guys, I'm still trying to figure out the fax machine. If I'm being completely honest, it blows my mind.
No. You passed that whole era. You do not need to know how to use a fax machine. Congratulations.
But like, how? And how does the internet work? Like, we're talking and we're across the ocean. Anyway, it's fine. It just blows my mind. And so I'm just saying, like, Ben, my husband, has been a crutch to me, and probably for too long. And it's so empowering. The more I can say, I can literally start a podcast in probably 48 hours. I know exactly how to do the hosting. I know the strategy behind it. You guys, we talked about this before. I have so many podcasts, I can't count them. And that was from doing and figuring out and being really frustrated. I remember him being on a call once with a client, and I had to figure out like a funnel. And I sat there and waited the whole 3 hours until he was done. And I was like, I can't do this. And then he got off the call, and I pretty much just talked myself through it. But I realized there, like, I have got to become more independent of this. So it's really cool that you're doing that from a mother perspective, Allison. And even in a coaching experience, Allison, you coach people, you probably see the same patterns. You can sit there and show them step by step, but there also has to come in an independence factor where you can't hold people's hands. So it's cool that you're doing that with your own daughter.
Yeah, I want to teach them how to learn.
Yes.
More. I think that is going to allow them to experience the freedom, experience the success so much more than if I hold their hand. Yes, I'm there to help. I'm there to answer. I'm there to hold hands. But if I can go deeper and teach them how to learn, that's going to change their life.
Yeah, that's so cool. And that takes a lot of discipline on both of your parts. I'm seeing that as a parent. Like, today my son was making something in the kitchen, and I was like, if I just do it, then it's going to work out better. But I had to sit there and watch and make sure. I think he was making eggs, make sure he didn't burn himself pouring it in the pan or something like that. I mean, this isn't my 7-year-old. This is my almost 10-year-old. And it's just, it's hard to let go, but you see the impact. He was so proud of himself. I taught him how to cut tomatoes like 3 years ago. And he's like, I'm the best tomato cutter ever, Mom, because you let me learn how to use a knife. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And yes, I did. And look at how powerful you feel. So I think it's an awesome dynamic. You know how lucky you are, right, Michaela?
Yes, I do. Sometimes I forget.
We should write that on your hand.
Tattoo it across my forehead.
But also...
You say that, but I actually think I'm the lucky one in
I
this.
was literally just going to say, like, you know how lucky you are too, Allison, right? Like, you were both really lucky to have each other.
Yeah, I really think she was brought into my life to help keep me reminded and grounded of what life's all about. Because I'm an entrepreneur. I have tunnel vision. Sometimes I don't come up for air. And my family is there to remind me what life is really about.
That she needs to eat dinner.
That I need to eat dinner.
See, she's still there for you. You know, you talk about you being there for her as that mother and that mentor. And that's what I love about families, and how we're no better than the other, but we're just coming in at different stages. We're just coming in at different, points in life and points in these ages where I learned so much from my 5-year-old, and I'm homeschooling, and people are like, oh, I could never do that. Like, you have to be a teacher. I'm like, it's actually happening the other way around. I'm learning so much more from them than I'm probably teaching to them. So I totally get that, Allison. The kids they're such a blessing, and they do keep us anchored in a bigger perspective and a bigger picture, which is what's so great about the family unit as a whole. So
agreed.
It's really fun to hear, though, these stories from both of your guys' perspectives. And I'm really proud of you, Michaela, and really excited for you to be launching a course, and that you figured out how to put that darn credit card button on your website.
Thank you.
I'm proud of her too. Nice job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I love also that you said, and now it's in my brain and I know how to do it again. And that's right there, right? That's the gold. You can repeat the process because you know how to do it. You do,
I
you
will
know.
never forget.
Oh, I love it. Well, you guys, I adore you. I love your family. I love what you guys are standing for. And I'm so excited. Michaela, you got to be on stage and speaking for events. What is kind of your big goal for the future? What do you see right now in your vision? You know, I'm not saying give me your 10-year plan, but what are you?
I'd like to know that. Give us your 10-year plan, Michaela.
Well, I have no idea.
No pressure. No pressure.
What you're doing for the next
2.5 years. I'm going to serve a mission. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
I'm
so
excited.
great. That's really cool. So when does that happen? You're 18 right now, right? So you have another year?
I turned 19 in April, so I can start my
wow.
papers to this month.
That's
This
so
This
exciting.
month.
Good
And
for
as a
you.
mother, and I love having her here. Oh man, part of me wants to talk her out of it, but I know
She's
I can't.
been trying. They're even setting me up with a person to like a returned missionary, so I don't leave.
So maybe she'll fall in love and get married. I know.
Yeah.
This is. You're gonna get some feedback on that comment. Sorry, but I like her around. Like it's this selfish mother, but I know she needs to go serve a mission. But the selfish side of me wants to say, no, just stay here forever and
Yeah.
ever.
I need you to remind me to eat dinner.
I need someone to cook my dinner.
Oh my gosh. You know, regardless of
everything.
the thoughts that may come in from that comment, I think we all can resonate with that. We never really want our kids to leave until it's a day when we're like, you can go now. It's fine. But for the most part, we all understand that. Like we just want to create a giant tent bubble and keep our kids in it and stay together every minute of every day. But the real logical side of you is like, then you'll come back a better person. You're going to do so much good in this world. So I guess I'll let you go.
Dang it.
I know.
We will.
I know. Well, I want to hear back from you in, let's say 3 years, Michaela. Let's hear, maybe at that point, you'll kind of know what your 10-year plan is. I'm super excited. And what's cool about, you know, for people who don't know, Michaela and Alison and myself are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And we serve 18-month to 2-year missions. And it costs a decent amount of money. So I really love that you have been able to save and can pretty much pay for that all by yourself, which is really, really exciting. And something not a lot of kids your age can say. So good for you.
Thank you. I'm excited as well.
Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best for all of that. And you guys go check out Makayla. You can check out both Makayla and Alison, but MakaylaPrince.com and AlisonJPrince.com. These ladies are fantastic. If you want to hear more from them, go follow them on social media. Check out what they're offering. And if you have some kids who you know might need either the pink or the blue program, Miss or Mr. Boss, then I'm sure just go to your website, right, Michaela, for them to find any information. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's fun.
Thanks for spending time with me today. I adore you both, and I'm excited to see what you guys keep doing in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun.
Of course.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to take action right now, you're feeling inspired and you're feeling enlightened, and you really want to own this role as a marvelous mom, go to the website marvelousmomsclub.com/me and create your own personal Marvelous Moms Manifesto. That is a tongue twister. marvelousmomsclub.com/me. You go fill in some great information, and in the end, you'll have a beautiful manifesto to display where only you can see or the whole family can see, where you can really, really own your role as a marvelous mom and step inside those goals and those ambitions and dreams that you have to become an even more marvelous mom to your beautiful family. So again, marvelousmomsclub.com/me. We will see you over there.